Let's take a look at what happens when someone submits our contact form. They first fill in their information and then click Send. The browser sends off a request to the web server as before, but this time it sends a bit more information along with the request, the values the visitor entered into the form fields. The server then has access to these values when it executes our PHP code. Open up your text editor to the contact.php file where we created this form. When the visitor clicks Send, the browser will send the information from the form to a particular PHP file. We can tell the browser where to send it by specifying an action attribute on the form. Let's set it to the name of a new file we'll create called contact-process.php. Let's now create a file with that name to handle the form submission. Let's put a temporary placeholder message at the top of this file. Let's save both these files and take a look at them in the browser. Fill out the form and click Send. Right now, that page just echoes out our temporary message and sends that down to our browser. The browser sends some variables with the information from our form to our contact-process.php file. Let me now show you how to access those variables in PHP. PHP has a special variable called _post. When a form with a method of post is submitted to a PHP file, the information from that form will be stored in this _post variable. Let's display everything from that _post variable to the screen. Let me show you a new PHP command, the var dump command, that will display all possible information about a particular variable to the screen. Click back in the browser and click Send on the form again. The details about this variable appear as one long string of text because the browser ignores all the white space and line breaks in the HTML when it displays the page. If you view source on the page, you can see it in a format that is easier to read. You'll notice that _post is an array. We'll talk more about arrays when we look at displaying the full lists of shirts. For now, let me just tell you that the _post array is a variable that somehow contains all the variables from the form. You can see 3 variables here inside the _post array: name, email, and message. Let's load the values from these 3 _post variables into regular PHP variables so that we can work with them. We'll create a variable called name. We'll load the proper value from the _post array into it. You can access one of these _post variables by starting with _post, then an opening square bracket, then a quotation mark, and then the name of the variable, which corresponds to the name attribute of the HTML element. Then we close off the quotation mark and the square bracket and end the statement with a semicolon. We can do the same thing to create an email variable and a message variable. Let's end by displaying the values from these variables on the page. Save the file. In the browser, click back and then click Send again. Our PHP file retrieves the values from the post array, loads them into regular PHP variables, and then displays them to the screen. I have a short quiz for you with questions about this process, and then we'll continue on with our PHP file to handle the form submission.